Hello and welcome to Module 7. My name is Colby Dissinger and we are going to take a look at the Google Calendar. And my hopes here is to share with you my knowledge on Google Calendar, how to set up a Google Calendar and new calendars, create events, how to share your calendar with other folks, how to connect it to your mobile device, and so forth. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Dr. Moody for citing this. My wife says thank you. She is very much a schedule-oriented individual, and I am not. So who knows, maybe this will rub off on me, and I will too get into scheduling and calendars and so forth. I'll give you an update at the end of the semester. 7 reasons for Google Calendar. Number 1, you get to share your schedule. You get to let your friends, families, and coworkers see exactly when you are free or busy by sharing your schedule. So let's say your family is trying to get a barbecue together. They can simply look at your schedule and see when you're available, and then hopefully that barbecue can happen. Number 2, sending out invites and tracking RSVPs. Before I became a physical educator in the district, I taught special ed for 5 years. And when I did that, I had to set up a lot of IEP meetings. To set up an IEP meeting, I would set out meeting requests. The great part of meeting requests or sending out invites and tracking RSVPs is that you get to see who can make it to your meeting or not. When you send out an invite, the recipient gets an option to accept or decline the event. If they accept it or decline it, the sender, myself, was notified if they are coming or not. If they did accept it, the event got placed into their calendar. Number 3, Google Calendar is free. Probably should put this number 1, but having Google Calendar be free is an awesome option for us. And there's my daughter crying in the background. Number 4, if you're like me, you have your iPhone by you. We take it everywhere we go. You get to sync your Google Calendar to your mobile device to have your calendar everywhere you go, and that's a great option. Number 5, you get to sync your Google Calendar to your desktop applications. You're able to connect to various desktop applications like Apple iCloud and Outlook. Number 6, never forget another event. One of the great things about setting up Google Calendar is that your events can have notifications. You can set your notifications for various times. If you want to be notified 10 minutes before the event, 30 minutes before the event, 2 hours before the event, or even a day before the event, you will get a notification to make sure that you are on time. Number 7, working offline. If you don't have the internet, it's okay. You have the ability to access your calendar even when you're offline. Oops. So I use Outlook at school. So I wanted to compare when I wanted to compare Google to another calendar, I figured naturally I'd look at Outlook. After doing some research, I found out that both calendars are extremely similar. So here are a couple features I wanted to cover. Event options. Both allow you to add important files to the events, but Google offers a video call option to the event, which is unique and cool. Offline options. Both Google and Outlook are accessible offline. Outlook is a software which allows you to manage your events offline. Now Google Calendar is web-based, but you can still access your calendar, but you need to add extensions to do so, and it is a little limited. Calendar events. Both Google and Outlook are similar in their options to provide in terms of how you can view your events. You can view them for by days, by weeks, or by months. Calendar sharing. You can share your events in both calendars, but Google allows you to make your calendar public. I'll show you how to do that later in the video. Your events are searchable by others that you shared your calendar with. In conclusion, I think both Google and Outlook are very similar in their features. Now, throughout my classes at Fort Hays State, I've learned that Google really aims to be simplistic and user-friendly. But I don't think you can go wrong either way using either Google or Outlook. I think it's a comfort thing. Personally, I'd rather use Outlook for my work just because that's what we have to use, number 1. And number 2, I'm familiar with it. But Google Calendar is something I feel like I would use in my personal life. So let's take a look at how we can get started using a Google Calendar. When you're starting to use a Google Calendar, what you need to do is open up a web page like Google Chrome, a web browser, excuse me. So what I did was I typed in Google Calendar and I clicked on it. When I clicked on it, it asked for me to, if I had a Google account. Once I signed in my Google account and I used my Fort Hays State one, I'm in. We know that there's a Fort Hays State, you're on your Fort Hays State account because it has the logo right here. If you have other Google accounts, you can have different calendars. So you can see that my calendar right here does not have the event that I had on my Fort Hays State one. This is my Shawnee Mission one, so I can separate the two. I could have a personal one, a Fort Hays State one, and I could have a school one. Let's take a look at the Fort Hays State one. If I needed to add a new calendar to my list, I'm going to go over here and click on Add Other Calendars, New Calendar. Then you type in the name of the new calendar. Let's say I wanted to have a calendar that was for sports games. Once you've done that, and apologize for the crying kid in the background. And there you go. You have a sports games calendar right there. So let's talk about adding an event. Right here I have an event, but I want to show you how I put that there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. So let's say I wanted to add that event to this page. And my son had a basketball practice at 5:30 on Tuesdays. You click right here about 5:30. Now you can see I misclicked and it says 4:30. So that's fine. You go ahead and click here and go to 5:30. And let's say it's actually from 5:30 to 7. It's an hour and a half. Click on that. Then you can also set reminders and notifications. So you go ahead and click on, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and type in, it's Owens basketball. Save. Now we're going to click on it and we're going to set reminders. Now 10 minutes isn't enough time for me to get there, so I'm going to go ahead and click on edit. And here's my notification. You can do a sound notification or an email notification. I'm just going to click notification. And I'm going to say that we need at least 30 minutes. Now, I need 45 minutes because I got to get all my kids together to get over the basketball practice. Well, there I have now a notification that in 45 minutes prior to his practice that I will receive. Let's say his practice is at Overland Park Elementary. It'll remind me exactly where it is. If you want to add a guest, here's a spot to do that. I could add you, Dr. Moody. I don't think you want to come to my son's game, though. It's all right. Let's say he has practice every Tuesday at this time. So I'm going to go click here and go weekly on Tuesday. So now I'm going to get this notification every Tuesday at this time. And click save. And there you go. Google's so smart, it added a basketball there. So now we've got you into Google Calendar. We've created a calendar. We've created an event. Let me show you how you can share your calendar with the public. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click on My Calendar. Oops, excuse me. Settings. I'm going to click on My Calendar. And now right here, if you want to make it public to everyone, I can click right here, make available to public. And it asks you, do you really want to do that? And I would click OK. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. Let me show you how to sync it to your iPhone. What I found is when I was looking up how to do this, I found this really cool video. So let's watch the video.
This is the new Google Calendar. It looks like this, and this, and this. Hey guys, it can take this, and this, and put it all here, automatically. It helps you do this, so you can go there, with him, and her, to see this guy. It works here, here, and here. So you can do this, that, and the other thing. Whatever the other thing is. Pickles!
I need to start using the word automagically too. That was awesome. I've already talked to you about how to do notifications. And again, you would go to your event and you just click on here. And I have a notification for 45 minutes. In conclusion, I think both using Google Calendar is extremely visually appealing, and it is very similar to other calendars such as Outlook. I hope this was useful, and I hope this is something that you could use at work.